Welcome to Super Lap Scotland for round 4 here at Knockout Racing Circuit, and a great entry. See some great driving and some great lap times as well. Conditions, well, not too bad. Very favourable for the drivers and the guys and girls putting their cars through their ultimate paces around Knockhill's 1.3 miles of very twisty tarmac. The exact same track that the touring cars raced on in August, and the exact same track that you two could sample your own car out there if you fancy having a shot at Super Lap Scotland. Look at that moody sky. As we head towards qualifying, let's find out how everybody got on. As ever, qualifying, a very important part of the day. It sets everybody up for their final run, but it's also a point scoring opportunity. As you can see, we have a big entry of Super Lap Scotland cars in the 30s, and very important to find yourself a bit of space on track. And also, if you're on a hot lap, you're on with your lights on, so it shows the car that you're coming up behind that you're on a fast lap. And yeah, there's usually a little bit of gamesmanship, but everybody ultimately plays by and follows the rules. As you can see, the track's still a little bit damp offline there, but the racing line predominantly dry. But yeah, people still using more of the track than they would actually want to. Going through Clark Corner there, a very easy thing to do. And there's Martin Hutton in his little Suzuki Alto. We're told that this is Martin's last Super Lap of the year, and we won't see him at the final round, which is a great shame, as Neil Campbell goes through the chicane there. And yeah, that could only be Nev Wood coming towards us with those disco lights in the front. It really does look pretty cool when it catches the camera. Hamish Kinloch in the guest class, a 1 minute point 2 in his Toyota Corolla. I'm going to say aging Toyota Corolla, but don't take that the wrong way, Hamish. Hamish, a rallyman, has had this car for about 30 years, we are told. And it sounds almost as good as one of these big Super Pro cars here. As you can see on full boost coming over the crest of the hill, they're using quite a lot of turbo and quite a lot of boost. As Martin Brown leaves the hairpin. Martin Brown, former King of the Hill, great to see him back here. We do like Martin, big fan of what he does. And as ever, Martin Brown very up there in the mix. Car 42 bounces through the shot and the gravel trap. Well, Rab Jobson's always been a man who likes to put his car on the line as much as he can, and Johnny Adams also having a bit of an off there as he goes down through Butchers. Jobson and Adams both there, yeah. I wonder if there's a little bit of rain falling in that area. But fastest in Class G was Adam Kindness with a 101.6. And Adam was on fine form. He's been using Super Lap Scotland to try and benefit him in qualifying in race series, and it really has been working. As we go on board with David Smitheram in his Chevrolet Corvette. Now this is all action. As you can see, armfuls of opposite lock. The speed in the middle of the dashboard, that's an add-on that David has put in there, I believe. And just watch how much opposite lock this thing has to dial in. Smitheram, coming up from the south of England, a very welcome addition to Super Lap Scotland, and it's great seeing him there. You can just see the car dancing on its way into the corner, comes over the crest of Clarkson, a huge moment as he heads towards the hairpin. The speed building all the way as he comes in towards the tightest corner. What was he going to peak out at? 112 miles per hour. Then he's going to try and stop the thing, which it's a fairly big car, and he's already trying to correct opposite lock in the apex of the corner. Brilliant to see David Smitheram all the way from the south of England. And a man who's not dealing with too much opposite lock right now is Tom Lockhart. And Tom in the 716 car, and it's a colour scheme which a lot of people reckon wouldn't work. Personally, I love it. I love what Tom Lockhart's done to his car, and he really has made it look nice and fresh, especially with those lights on. No, so Francis Simpson, well, it sounds good, but it looked a little bit wide to me. Yeah. Fastest man in Class F was Donny McLeod, a 59.873 for Donny in his little yellow and black Clio, and he's made this thing look absolutely sensational. It reminds me of a touring car from back in the early days of Renault when they first came into the BTCC with Tim Harvey and the Laguna, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, I'm flashing back in years now. But Donny, getting quicker and quicker every time he's out, and the rumour is, after this event, he possibly could see Class E for the final round. Be interesting to see how that works out as Andy Clopworthy comes in towards McIntyre's turn 3, passing, I think that was Eric Holmes staying well out the way there. Now, has Eric got a problem, or was he just minding his own business and doing exactly what he should do and getting out the way of a faster car? Dave Joyce up the main straight there, and Dave Joyce, yeah, going really well in his first year in Super Lap Scotland. Sean Martin was fastest in E-Class with a 57.1. And Sean Martin, Fraser McNeil, Andy Napier, these guys all really raising the bar in Class E. Martin considerably faster at the start of the year, but everybody seems to have caught up. Sean loving the competition, really is revelling in the competition. His Honda seems to work very well around Knockhill Racing Circuit, and yeah, let's see how he gets on. There's a rumour as well that Sean Martin will be going into the mod sports for the last round of the year. Dave Reed, 57.6, fastest in Class D. A welcome return for David Reed. We have not seen him for quite some time. The DR Motorsport Subaru has gone through a little bit of makeover work there. As you can see, number 18 on the side of that. Brilliant to have Dave back in one piece at Superlap Scotland doing his thing. Simon Mcwilliam, we have missed you. And I say that because he hasn't made a couple of rounds. He was unfortunately held back due to the lockdown, which Aberdeen saw, and they missed any of Aberdeen, missed one of the Superlap Scotland. So yeah, it's great to see him back here. And Francis Simpson in Class C, 55.5. Any more of that, mate, and you'll be in the gravel trap. Francis trying as hard as you could imagine. Watch this. Through the chicane, yeah, bounces through, manages to get it on his exit. And there he comes over the top of Clark Corner. Ooh, you naughty boy. You naughty boy. In the gravel trap, couple of wheels there, as Fraser Huntley likes to light up the back of the big Nissan as he leaves the hairpin. And a lot of people struggling for grip, it would see here, as Robbie Wiper fastest in B class. Great to see Robbie back. No grip issues for Robbie just yet as he leaves the hairpin, but a lot of people really struggling for grip there. These quite cold temperatures that we've got today in September, but Robbie Wiper managing to make do with what he's got as Michael Emery goes through. One of the nicest looking cars in the paddock, that number 14 car, and part of the Japcom squad. Fastest in Pro Class, Matty Lawson, 52.529. He did enough to take the fastest overall time in Pro and fastest overall for qualifying at Superlap Scotland at 52.5 second lap, his second best of 53.7. But yeah, Holmes in trouble as well. Eric Holmes, we heard, broke a drive shaft, if I'm not mistaken. And Eric, it's great to see Eric back, but things just not going perfectly for Eric right now. There's a drive shaft breaking on the straight, you can actually see that. So a little bit of work for Eric. I'm saying drive shaft, I think it's actually the prop shaft, but Eric grinds to a halt at the exit of McIntyre's, and the session has to be stopped for that. We'll get him recovered and on his way. Eric from up north, a stalwart when it comes to Superlap Scotland. Picked up by the recovery truck, not the first time Eric's been on the back of that rope, and he heads back round to the paddock where he'll quickly repair that and get back on track. The Osbornes, there's two of them. There's Michael Osborne Sr. and there's Michael Osborne, not to be confused with Junior. Yes, there's actually three of them because there's a granddad as well. This family, local family to Knockhill, great to see them here at Knockhill doing what they do, but unfortunately, watch this, catches the gravel, catches the grass, and yet the static camera doesn't pick up the impact, thank goodness, because it was a whopping big impact for Michael Osborne Sr. Thankfully, he did walk away from that, but the car, as you can see now, comes back out in the back of the recovery truck. The car did not survive very well. Packed up and taken away back down to Osborne Motors down in Dunfermline. The work will begin for round number 5. A great shame, but just trying that a little bit too hard through the chicane. And let's have a look at our results. Sean Martin fastest in E with Donny McLeod, and Adam Kindness takes the G honours. Fastest in Pro was Matty Lawson. Robbie Wiper was fastest in B. Francis Simpson and Dave Reed takes the D class honours. So here we go, it's final time for Superlap Scotland. They've done their warm-up and practice, they've done a qualifying, and Hamish Kinloch takes the guest honours with a 101.2 in his Toyota Corolla. This is where it counts from, the Superlap. The warm-up lap, the hot lap, and then the in lap. As Hamish comes round the hairpin, it sounds beautiful, that naturally aspirated rasp of that Toyota up towards the checker flag, happy, and he will be back for round number 5. On to Class G, first man on track was Martin Hutton, and Martin did a 114.548 in his little Suzuki Alto. Looks very top heavy, does that car. Martin loves it though. His main car still under work, shall we say, still a little bit broken, but this is something he uses just to have a little bit of fun and get himself back out on track, and he is out there doing it, and he's driving the wheels off of that car. 5th place, Fiona Kindness, a 104.7 for Fiona. A little bit kind of out of sorts with that wobble over the top of Duffy's Dip there, and then fighting it all the way in towards Leslie's and McIntyre's. Fiona comes away P5. Probably not very happy with that. She knows there's more in the tank, and she'll come back stronger for the final round of asking. Rab Jobson, number 42, Renault Clio, a 103.6, sees him 4th in the G class, and a welcome addition back to Superlap Scotland. Big fans of Rab Jobson. He's been around with all sorts of schemes to help people into motorsport, and he right now is with Alex Milne, long-time friend Alex Milne, and he out there having fun in Superlap Scotland. 3rd in Class G is Adam Morrison, car number 86 in his Mini Cooper. A 103.4 for Adam Morrison, and he was flying. Those mean eyes on that Mini, I think sometimes you should make them change. Fastest in the G class though went to Adam Kindness. Yeah, Adam Kindness, he'll be delighted with that one, a 101.8. And look at the commitment over the top of Duffus. Now, contrasting styles to Fiona, Adam much more on the attack here, and flirting with the edge of the track as well, as he comes down through Butchers in the chicane. Listen to this. Just a light comfort lift in the throttle. Grabs a gear towards Clark's. He'll be on the brakes and back down a gear before he looks for his apex. Tries not to take too much of the red curb because it will throw him too wide through the gravel, and he doesn't hit the gravel. Good exit from Adam as he heads towards the hairpin. Now, he's shaking his head inside the car. Pick a braking marker. Let's listen to this. Into the hairpin he comes. So important to get the brakes, try and get the car slowed down, use the gears as well, get the car back to the apex, and Adam Kindness went away with a 101.8, and he was pretty quick compared to everybody else, a whole 1.2 seconds further up the road from Adam for Adam Kindness to take the G-Class honours. Into the F-Class finals, the first car on track, in towards Duffus Dip, Simon Mcwilliam, number 59. Simon did a 103.670, and his Renault Clio 172 Cup car. It's been a while since we've seen Simon on track, and it's just great to have him back here, and he'll be delighted that he's getting a finish in Class F. Just up the road from him in P8, Alex Milne in the Renault Megane RS. Alex, very steady around McIntyre's there. The last time we saw this car on screen, it was spinning up to the chicane, and that was in the previous Superlap. A 103.1 for Alex Milne, and he was just behind Dave Joyce, car number 85, and Dave's Renault Clio 182, and Dave did a 102.867. New to Superlap Scotland, very much finding his feet and also finding the brake pedal in towards McIntyre's with a lock-up from that light back wheel. As he made his way around Dave Joyce, happy all the way, P7 for Dave Joyce. In 6th place was car number 101, Jonathan Adams, in his Renault Clio. He did a 101.7, did Johnny, and that was after his grass tracky moment which took him off the track in qualifying down through Butchers, but P6 for Jonathan. Yeah, another guy happy to be new to Superlap Scotland, and away he goes. P5, car number 15, here he comes, Craig Wallace over the top of Duffus, and we hold our breath as he comes through there. Craig Wallace in the Peugeot 106 did a 101.5 second lap. A nice smooth steady lap, but very fast, didn't really put too many wheels wrong, and all he had to do was get round the hairpin and he would take away that top 5 in F class. Still a few damp patches there and a small lock-up on the way in. In P4, 716, Tom Lockhart, Renault Clio 172, a 101.4. How close is F class? It really is incredibly close. 10th of a second between himself and Craig Wallace, but Lockhart, well, he managed to get 4th place with that, 101.4. Michael Emery took a top 3 spot. Number 14, 101.4 again. Just a couple of hundredths of a second in front of Tom Lockhart. How close do you like it? The guys in F class, they're all over the closeness. Michael Emery, a good lap, lovely looking car, and no gearbox issues this time. Last time we saw that, bit of gear issue leaving the hairpin. Here comes Donny McLeod, 144, P2 for Donny. Yeah, fastest in qualifying, but P2 at the end of it with a 102, a 101.2, and he was trying. Just watch Donny through the chicane. Lots of curb on the way in, and on the way out, right up towards the end of it. Almost running off the road, actually. Clark Corner. Nice and smooth all the way through there, trying not to scrub off the speed by going sideways. But ultimately, a classy lap. The winner, though, of Class F, car number 38, Sean Hislop. A 101.1 second lap for this guy. He's Cleo 197. Sean put together a fabulous lap. He's been in Super Lap for quite some time now, and he really is finding his feet. But just to go back and tell you how close Class F are, the top 6 cars covered by half a second. That is incredibly close, and everybody really on the pace. As we see Sean coming in towards Clark here, he goes through and heads towards the hairpin past the Gary Stagg commentary tower. And all he had to do was get through the hairpin. It wasn't a case of just plain sailing, because he knew exactly how close it was. As he left the hairpin, up towards the main straight, just about dropping a couple of more than 2 wheels into the gravel. He got away with that one. Here we go. Checker flag for Sean Hislop, a 101.1. On to the E-Class finals. Car number 190, Henry Simmons. His Renault Megane, a 103.597. It's a road car. Yes, you can see that. Henry drives his car to the racetrack and then competes in it and drives it home. Showing that if you want to do that in Super Lap Scotland, don't be shy, get in touch with us. You can drive your car there and compete. Martin Brown, car number 88, the Subaru Impreza, definitely not driving it there, but it used to drive through the circuit. A 58.5 for the former King of the Hill himself, Martin Brown, car number 88, and we look forward to seeing Martin in the last round of the championship on the 18th of October. We then get up to second place, 47. Just listen to that come towards you. Fraser McNeil, Honda Civic, Class E, 58.2 for this man. Teammate to Francis Simpson. These guys put so much effort into their cars. And it sounds great going down through the twisty part, but it was all about Sean Martin. Once again, car 64 in his Honda Civic Type R, a 57.6 second lap. Only half a second up the road from Fraser McNeil and Martin Brownell. Very close in Class E. And great to see Sean Martin's lap here as we follow him round down through the butcher's dip. The car compressing so much you can see the tyre rubbing on the wheel arch as he goes through the lowest part of Knockhill and up towards Clark Corner. Runs along the kerb and turns it back in. Let's see. Yeah, not flirting with the gravel, trying not to scrub off too much speed. Sean, he's been doing a lot of track days this year at Knockhill, and you can see the practice really is paying off for him as he come into the hairpin. All he had to do now was not touch the gravel and compromise his exit, which he didn't do. Up towards the line, Sean Martin, winner of Class E, 57.6. On to Class D. Let's go on board with... oh dear, he's sitting down? Yeah, you better be. David Smitheram over the top of Duffus, and he's already sideways as he comes down through the big compression at the bottom in the Chevrolet Corvette. It's a big car to manhandle around Knockhill, but great to see him here. 59.8 second lap in the big Chevy Corvette. Let's watch him leaving the hairpin. Did we get it sideways? Yeah, of course we do. Well done, David. Great to have you at Knockhill. But the fastest man in Class D was number 18, David Reed, in the Subaru Impreza, 57.962. And Dave, trying extremely hard over the top of Duffus, forced himself a little bit wide going through Les's and probably compromised himself by the time he got to McIntyre's, but he had enough in the tank to make sure that the lap counted for him. Great to see him back on track. The last time we saw this car, I believe it was possibly blue, or was somebody else driving it. I think the Big Grabowski was driving it. He broke his car once again, and Dave Reed stepped in and gave him this one. But towards the hairpin, Reed had to get through like everybody else, and a lot of people have been struggling with a lot of mid-corner grip at the hairpin, but car number 18, flirting with the gravel and a little bit of scenery up the main straight, took the honours in Class D. Moving on to C. Well, with one Osborne car unfortunately reshaped, it was down to Michael Osborne Jr., we'll call him. Michael Osborne Jr. did a 56.4 second lap in his Mitsubishi Evo. Obviously quite concerned after Dad's shunt earlier on in the day. Still a cracking lap time for the newcomer, but it was Francis Simpson in C class. Francis did a 55.9 second lap, 0.4 of a second up the road from Junior. And as he come through Les's there, that was almost like Marc Marquez in MotoGP, backing it in towards the corner. Simpson was on a mission as he come through the chicane. He thinks he can find more time here. He's trying, isn't he? As he goes up the back straight. Listen to this car. It does sound fabulous, the induction noise that we get off these Hondas as they come towards us. Through Clark. By this point, Simpson knew the lap was good, but he also knew that Osborne had been very quick. He had to beat the 56.4 second lap. Was he going to beat it? He's going to try, definitely. 55.9. Francis Simpson, 0.4 of a second, takes the Class C honours. As we come to Class B, It's Clotworthy against Wiper, and Andy Clotworthy, he come off second best this time. 56.1 second lap for Andy Clotworthy in his Subaru Impreza. Clotworthy's had quite a good few gearbox issues. I'm not going to say good, but quite a lot of gearbox issues, and hopefully he can get through the final super lap of the year without any issues, as he has a big moment on the exit of the corner. And car 76 was the winner in B, Robbie Wiper, Mitsubishi Evo 8 MR. 54.6 second lap for Robbie Wiper, and he has put so much work into his car all the way through lockdown. Since March, Robbie has been on furlough, and he's just dedicated himself to building the perfect Class B car, and well, we think he has almost got it. He really is. He's on form this year. He was 1.4 seconds faster than Clotworthy over this lap, and Robbie Wiper was showing everybody just exactly how much skill he has got. But Andy Clotworthy, well, he'll have noted that. And for the final round of the year, let's see exactly how it unfolds. Wiper across the line, Class B victor with a 54.6 second lap. Into the Pro Class, Nev Wood, second in Pro Class, coming in towards McIntyre. 56.1 for Nev in his Ariel Atom, which seems to grow more and more little bits of aerodynamic tweaks. Remember the last time we saw Nev looping at the exit of the chicane? I think that was in Super Lap round 3, and landed on the grass halfway up the back straight. Second place for Nev Wood meant car number 98, Matty Lawson, in his Mitsubishi Evo 5 was the winner. 53.2 seconds for Matty Lawson at the end of it, with his very luminous yellow wheels here. 53.2 for Matty. He'll be back for the final one as well. Still very much in with a shout at King of the Hill. Let's see how he gets on with that one. As he come through Clark Corner, Lawson, very neat and tidy as ever, boosted his way towards the hairpin. And once he got to the hairpin, it's a case of point and squirt through the hairpin and back up the straight towards that checkered flag, which was made ready for Matty Lawson, winner of the Pro Class, car number 98, 53.2 second lap. So the finals, Sean Martin, Fraser McNeil and Martin Brown in Class E, with Hislop, McLeod and Im in F. Adam Kindness and Adam Morrison battle it out, with Hamish Kinloch the best of the guest classes, with Matty Lawson from Nev Wood in Pro, Wiper and Clotworthy in B, Simpson and Osborne Jr. in C, and David Reid and David Smitheram in D. Thank you very much to all the drivers and competitors who took part in Super Lap Scotland Round 4. We'll be back for round number 5. A nod to all our on-screen sponsors as well. Thank you very much. We couldn't do it without you guys. Until next time, take care.